So today in my macroeconomics class, we were talking about inflation, and I thought, you know what? That's a topic that could relate really well to hypixel skyblock. Inflation's never good because, in essence, inflation rate is the weakening of your buying power, which in simple terms means your money is worth less, so it's harder for you to buy stuff. So if your money is worth less, there's many different reasons that could affect, I guess, inflation and why it occurs. Some reasons include things like supply and demand. So for example, if a lot of people want something and there isn't a lot of that something, then the prices will go up because everyone wants it. But first we have the demand push, I think is what it's called. And what the demand push is basically there's a lot of people who want something, right? So the prices go up because everyone want it. So think of enchanted books back when they were on AH, for those who don't know, or quit Skyblock. You used to be able to sell enchanted books on AH, now it's on Bazaar. So anyways, you know how some people would get super impatient and they would buy books that are a little bit more expensive when they could have just waited for a little longer and gotten a cheaper version? Yeah, so that would be a demand pull when everyone wants it and there's high demand. And so prices go up because people are willing to pay more. Second one is called the demand supply pull. Or maybe it's demand pull supply push, I don't remember. So anyways, so there's that reason, and what that is it says if there's very little supply and a ton of people, like, you don't even have to say a ton of people want it, just like a normal amount of people want it, then what's gonna happen is the people who really want it, right, like they really want it and they can't go without it, they're going to be willing to pay more, which causes inflation that way. Inflation rate in Skyblock is currently almost 300%. I'm just looking at Hyperion right now. For example, the Hyperion back then when it first came out was 300 million, which is very cheap. I'm gonna be real, 300 million is not very expensive. At the highest point, I think one Hyperion went for almost 1.2 billion. So it was 400% then, now it's like 300%. Yeah, so if a nation undergoes 300% inflation rate, people are gonna commit a mutiny, probably, because at that point money doesn't matter. It's worth absolutely nothing. But anyways, it turns out countries and nations can survive more than 300% inflation rate. Like, for example, in 2008, I was learning this in my macroeconomics class. This is like a little trivia activity. Turns out in 2008, all the way in Zimbabwe, they had what did my teacher say? 78.6 billion% inflation rate, which I thought was just crazy because that country still does exist right now. But that isn't even the worst inflation rate. Turns out the worst inflation rate was back around World War II. Like pre-World War II, Hungary still existed, right? 1 USD equaled 6 Hungarian dollars. I don't know what the Hungarian dollar's name is. I forgot. But it was like 6 Hungarian dollars. 6 Hungarian dollars. Very stable economy. So that was pre-World War II. So post-World War II, 1 United States dollar equaled 832 octillion. 832 octillion Hungarian dollars. So originally, I made this video to do two things. One, to actually post a video because I feel like it. And two, to review for my macroeconomics quiz that was coming up. But turns out spending time doing videos takes away from reviewing from quizzes. So the original moral of the story for this video was that inflation in Skyblock is okay because Skyblock is a non-existent country. It's Skyblock is a game, all right? Skyblock money was already worth nothing. You can't make something worth nothing nothinger? Yeah, it doesn't get even more nothing than nothing, all right? That's how Skyblock currency actually works. But you can lose out on points on an important quiz. So I think the real moral of the story is if you have an important quiz tomorrow and you also only have like 20 subs on YouTube, then definitely choose the schoolwork over YouTube. It's a better investment of your time. Just saying.